Hey everyone, and welcome. In this explainer from us here at Alpha Constructions, we're taking a serious look at the future of the job site. We're going to be talking robotics, we're going to be talking automation, and really what it all means for the construction industry.
So let's just jump right in. When you hear the words construction robot, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably some shiny, human-looking machine straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Maybe welding beams hundreds of feet up in the air. While the reality, and this is usually the case, isn't it, is a little different. The robots that are actually transforming construction today look way less like C-3PO and a lot more like, well, highly specialized pieces of equipment because, that's exactly what they are.
All right, so let's push the science fiction stuff aside for a minute and really dig into the facts. We're talking about a whole new wave of automation, where the tools we use are just getting a whole lot smarter.
And get this quote isn't from last year, it's from 1998, over 2 decades ago, and yet it's never been more true. It really gets to the heart of the matter. These robots aren't being designed to replace human creativity or problem solving. They're being built as incredibly powerful tools to augment it, to do specific jobs better, faster, or safer than a person could ever do on their own.
Okay, so what do these machines actually do? What do they look like when they're in action? Let's take a look at some real-world applications and see the kind of results they're putting up on actual job sites right now.
First up, meet SAM. That's short for the Semi-Automated Mason. And this isn't some prototype in a lab. SAM's out there in the real world working today. Now I want you to really focus on that one word in the definition, collaboratively. SAM does the back-breaking work, picking up bricks, applying mortar, and placing them precisely, while a human mason works right alongside it, taking care of the finer details and making sure the quality is perfect.
And the result of that partnership? It's just staggering. A single mason working with SAM can lay 3 to 5 times more bricks than they could alone. Just think about that for a second. That's a huge leap in efficiency, and it's not achieved by replacing the skilled worker, but by supercharging what they're able to do.
And look, SAM is not some one-off wonder. This is a trend. We're seeing robots that can tirelessly tie rebar on massive bridge projects. We're seeing machines that can install drywall all on their own. And we're seeing these amazing digital fabrication systems that create incredibly complex parts with absolute precision. What do they all have in common? They are specialists, designed to do one thing really, really well. Okay, so all of this sounds pretty amazing, right? Game-changing even. Which leads to a really obvious question. If this technology is so darn effective, why isn't every construction site just crawling with these things? Why aren't our cities being built entirely by robots?
Well, the short answer is construction is just incredibly difficult to automate. As an environment, it presents some of the biggest challenges you can possibly throw at a robot. It's a uniquely tough nut to crack.
Just picture it for a second. On one hand, you have a car factory. It's clean, it's controlled, it's predictable. The lighting is perfect, the tasks are the same over and over again. Now compare that to a construction site. It's controlled chaos. It's an unstructured outdoor environment that's constantly changing. It's muddy, it's uneven, and almost every task is a little bit unique. They're polar opposites. And all that chaos creates these massive technical headaches. I mean, a robot has to be able to handle materials that range from tiny screws to multi-ton steel beams. It has to navigate a site where the terrain literally changes from one day to the next. And maybe most important of all, it has to do its job with pinpoint accuracy while guaranteeing the safety of all the people working right next to it. But here's the thing. As tough as all those technical problems are, they might not even be the biggest roadblock. The most difficult, most pressing challenges, they're human. We're talking about the societal impact and what this all means for the workforce. And that really brings us to the most important part of this whole story. Because the future here isn't a story of humans versus machines, it's all about collaboration. It has to be. Experts in the field really see it this way. This idea of coexistence is absolutely central. For the foreseeable future, our job sites are going to be a blend of the old and the new, automated systems working hand in hand with traditional methods. And you're still going to need human skill to manage it all, to oversee it, and to integrate these new technologies into the workflow. Of course, anytime we talk about automation, there's the elephant in the room, right? The big one. What happens to the jobs? It's the number one concern for a reason, and as you're about to see, the experts really don't have a single clear answer. And honestly, if you look at the experts, the predictions are, well, they're all over the place. On one hand, you have studies like one from Frey and Osborne suggesting that almost half, 47% of US jobs are at high risk.
But then you have other researchers, like Arndt and his team, who put that number way down at just 10%. The simple truth is nobody really knows for sure what the net effect is going to be. So here's the real takeaway, the bottom line. It doesn't matter which prediction you lean towards. The success of this entire transformation is going to hinge on one thing: how well we manage the transition. More specifically, how humans and robots learn to work together side by side on the job site. That relationship is going to define everything.
So, where does all this leave us? We've busted the sci-fi myths, we've seen the real-world tech in action, and we've talked about the very real challenges, both technical and human. So the ultimate question isn't really if robots will be part of our future, but how we're going to build with them. The challenge and the opportunity is to design that partnership so that humans and machines can truly build the cities of tomorrow together.